finally. Alright, so we are doing the spool in there. Now, operating system we have right now is the, Jesus. What is the operating system? When you open the start button on the left side, it says Windows XP Professional. You see that? So that's your operating system, XP Professional. We have this one as Windows 8. Okay? Now, here we're doing the SQL commands. Now, what are the, which one are we doing? SQL, September, notes. By the way, I send you guys spool. Yes. Division 3 and page down. Not that. Page up. Not that. This one, page down. So schema, you see this one I wanted to talk about now. All the keywords and function name should be capitalized. What do you mean by function? Who can tell me? I'm a Tawfiq.
When you
know what it is?
action, you asking for some result.
In a way. Okay. Any better definition? Anybody else wants to share?
If something organized, we call it.
You're talking about from a, like a festival point of view, or talking about from an IT point of view. So you're talking about function, right? Your answer is right. I should have mentioned it there in the earlier. ও বলছে যে কোনো ফাংশন হয় না ওদের বিয়ের ফাংশন এরকম he's talking about that, right? From that's like a gathering, right? Okay. This function I'm talking about from an IT point of view. What does IT stands for?
Information technology.
Information technology. So you are from an IT point of view. Function is this. I'm trying to think, trying to give you a good.
Can you say it's a character that has a role?
No, I'm trying to give you. Okay, so for example, let's say select, right? Select this part or all, this all part. I wanted to do this one italic. As soon as I click here italic, what happens? This one becomes it's italic, right? Did I change the shift it to the left way?
No.
But I did what I did. I clicked on this button. So this italic button, whoever created this program, he says when he wrote a command like this, when user press I, make the highlighted portion this way or like tilted. He wrote a function on that. As soon as you click that, that function is getting called. Even though you're not doing anything, that function is getting called. So a function is something that is predetermined or done prior, and as soon as you click it, it gets executed. Okay? So, in other words, when you start the car, do you actually go inside the engine, goes, okay, this one go up, round, and this one, and like gas come in here, and put the gas in, nothing. But you just, what do? You just press it, tie your ignition, or you press it. The function of the ignition is, as soon as you click it, it's going to start the car through some process. All this process is done. It's a function. So as soon as you start it, it calls that process. So every time you do a function is a process, and it can sometimes return a value, sometimes it doesn't return a value. When it does return a value, it's called a subfunction. When it does return a value, doesn't subfunction. When it does return a value, call a regular function. Okay? Now, for example, I can write a function like this, even though I'm going on QTP basics, but this is something you'll know later on. Let's say I wrote a function and I wrote function math underscore add, and I put value a comma b. So I say a equal 5, b equal 6, a plus b equal 11, isn't it? So I say print this for me, a plus b. I don't have to even write 11. It will automatically print 11 for me.
Inside function.
Because, so I do always, when you call function, you write function, you have to do end function. That means this is end, nothing after that. So for example, let's say I have so many calculations every day I do. I keep putting at two numbers, like let's say, all the students, first grade, you have all the students at first exam and second exam, right? So all these numbers I have to keep adding. So I just call a function and I say call this function name math underscore add, and then I put the value first and last, or I can just put here like this, 2 and 3. Now it's gonna print, it's gonna replace this a and b, put 2 and 3. So what I'm gonna get right now, as soon as I call this function, automatically, what is the function of this? Print the a and b result. So it's gonna give me 5. I can call the function again. Instead of writing all those, I can just say call math add, and I can put parentheses 9, 20. So it's gonna give me 29. So what am I calling here? I'm calling a function that was a predetermined process. It gives a value. Sometimes it doesn't give a value. Sometimes I just put information. So if I wanted to put username and password, I can have probably 500 username and password. I'm going to try, because from Excel sheet you can put 500 username, right? In an Excel sheet. Can you put in an Excel sheet 500 username and 500 password in 2 columns?
Yeah.
And if you keep calling one by one without you doing anything, automation tools will call them and put the first one and the username. Try to log in, values log in. Second one, third one, fourth one, all 200 of them. Instead of you keep typing them, you can just call the function and you can say this one, call login, and then you can say username comma password. And when you write the function one time, you write it, you can probably write them this one, function login, and then are you passing any value? You're not passing any, you're not returning any value. So you can say here user name equal, let's say John, and password Doe, click login. We're going to talk about that. It's just a very simple one. End function. Every time you call in and you pass this one, you can just pass it and you can say, or you can say read Excel file EOF, end of file. But from do while file, myself from 1 to all the way end. It's gonna keep reading. So as soon as you call this function, all this function is gonna read it. How many times you put it in there? Once. How many times is reading? As many times as you want. So function has a huge advantage. Instead of you keep writing the same thing on and on, you can call the function in your whole script numerous times, as many times as you want. You don't have to do anything. All you're gonna do is pass the value. You're passing a value there. So function has it. So therefore, it says all the keywords and function name should be capitalized. What is a function name? When you say select, what does it do? In the back end, somebody wrote it, when it says select, try to select it, but you haven't even said what select. And he said from employees. Right away he selects the whole employee tables. You know what? That's a function. So these are keywords and function. They should be always capitalized. Does this function make sense to you a little bit? It's going to make more sense when you do the descriptive programming in QTP. But at least you have an idea right now. Now, from, where, group by, having, order by, value, set, between. These are functions and keywords. Okay, so function name can be count. When it says count, as soon as you say count, it tells you what to count. Or you say max, it sort the whole thing out and give you the highest value. Somebody must have written something behind somewhere. As soon as you click, if you write max, it automatically does it for you. You're not doing anything. So these are functions. Now, the name of the commands also should be capitalized. You see that? Drop, rename, create, all those things. All right. So we have done these, and we have done these. We did the join. So select. Okay. So join. I'm going to read a little bit. Inner join will retrieve data from multiple tables. And what kind of data? Matching data. You are getting the common data. Are you getting any uncommon data? No, you're not. So inner join operator is what? Equal sign. Or you can write inner join, and then at that time you replace where with what? In inner join, you do select and the column names, correct? From, don't you write from? And then you put the two tables names, right? And then you put where. But instead of this table name, comma, you take off with inner join. And what do you replace that on? You put on instead of where. And then you put the condition. Department E dot department ID equal D dot department ID. Right? Sanju, make sense or no? Patama? You guys know what I'm talking about? I'm not doing it. So that's what Luna was with me one interview. I told them about equal. That guy says, I don't know what that is. He only knows inner way. This way. And he did not take my answer as yes. He said, no, you're wrong. Half an hour I try to understand this works. And he said, no, I don't know. Because what happens, he probably asked one of the SQL database administrator and asked him, what should I ask him? He can ask him, see if he knows inner join. Maybe he's not there, the guy who actually made the question, but he put 10 questions for him. Look, ask this question, see if he answers. His answer was inner join. He didn't have an equal sign in there. So he had no idea what I was talking about. You understand what I'm saying? He said, no, it doesn't match. So the person probably doesn't know what I'm talking about. If he was a SQL guy, he would know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's why I'm telling you, in case you encounter a problem like this, you can say, okay, you know what? We don't do like that, but I know there is another way you can do it. Inner join. As soon as you say that, he'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, you're right. At that time, I didn't know that.
Because after that,
then I started learning. It was like, why he didn't take that as an answer. He should have taken that as an answer. But he didn't. A lot of times people think left outer join, plus sign, left, right, get confusing. So they wanted to do, like if they say left outer join, and then you can say on the condition. So instead of putting plus sign in between. So I wanted to show you both of them. I wanted to give you both ideas so that at least when you go to the interview, you can actually face it. And you can say, you know what, I know both ways. Now, somebody's phone got a text. Inner join will retrieve all rows from multiple tables where join condition is met. What is my join condition?
Common,
primary key and
foreign keys. The matching, the common factor. Common factor. বয়সের সাথে সাথে গিরায় ব্যথা শুরু হয়েছে? Really? We're boots.
এই জায়গা কিনে নিয়েছি আমরা ধরে রাখছি
কালকে 7টার সময় এসে 6:30 এসে জায়গা দখল
Oh, I see. ওরা পিছনে বসে আছে।
আপনি কালকে আমার ডাটা বেস স্কিমা রক্ত করছেন তাই জন্য আজকে জায়গা দখল না কালকে আমি স্কিমা কথা বলতেছি কার জন্য বলে ভাই আমি বলছি এই রে জুমা ভাই তো আমার স্কিমা নিয়ে চলে গেছে
ওটা ছিল সিমসিমা। Who's got a key to my bima? So if I have a table name employee and I have a table name department, there are two columns I'm selecting from table, both tables. I'm trying to put it in one selection, one table right now, one view. So I'm selecting first name, employee ID, salary, and a department name, which is from a different table, but I'm putting it in one column. Right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You want to put one column
Of what?
From multiple tables.
I have one table. I have one. God. Excuse me. This is the table I have. What's the name of the table here? Another table I have here. Departments. ও এত রাতে কার লগে কথা বল বল লগে কথা
না দোনো প্রশ্ন তো সেখানে সূচনা
ধরুন কথা
আমি কথা বলিনি তো
Robin. Okay. So let's say this. Guys here. You guys can talk after this. Okay. Now here one of the table name is employee ID, isn't it? First name, last name, salary, and commission. Okay. So this one department has department ID. So this one has a department ID. So department ID. Right? But does it have a department name?
No.
It doesn't. This one has a department ID, department name, and so on so. So I wanted to have these two column, this column, and this column, and I wanted to see in a different table or a view. So now I'm connecting how many tables?
Two tables.
I can have another table and get one column from there, but there's gotta be a connection in between here that I can put them in a common factor. If there is no connection in here, this is not gonna work. So to make it work, I have to have a connection, and that connection we can do it as an inner join, and that is the common joins. Okay, so I'm doing now 3 different columns. One column is called this employee ID, another one is first name, another one is salary, another one is department name. That's it. So now I have 4 columns of a table from 2 different tables. Now it's gonna give me all the information in there. To do that, I wanted to have what? First thing I gotta do is select it. I gotta select. Now it's gonna tell me, what are you selecting? Are you selecting the whole thing? No, I'm not. I'm selecting these, which is employee table, employee ID. I'm selecting first name, but in between every column I have to put a comma. So I'm comma this one, and then I say salary, and then I do, last one is what? Department name. And I said, okay, my columns are done. Do I have to put comma at the end? No, I don't, because it's done. Now he says, okay, from where? Because he doesn't know what I'm talking about. So I give him, tell him, select this. From where? From one table name employees, another table. So also table names I'm separating them by comma. Another one is departments, isn't it? And then he says, okay, what do you want me to do? How you connecting them? So you can say where, and that's when you put the condition that okay, one of the field is common, which is department ID and department ID. So you say employees department ID equal to department's department ID. Make sense?
Yes. So E dot department and E dot department.
Right. So then you can put the alias, you can make it shortcut or whatever. But the basic idea is that. That's your inner join, Zuma.
Wait, no, he's just too certified.
He's the one earlier asked me, do the inner join and outer join.
No, actually, when you guys go to work, the select things are very easy. If you are going to ask a
Yes.
question on SQL,
দুইটা টেবিল জয়েন করতে গেলে ইনার জয়েন লিখতে হবে তো দুইটার বেশি যতটা টেবিল লিখতে
সবই inner join
You gotta write inner join. So how do you do that? Somebody, I'm gonna pick today somebody.
Tofik.
No, not Tofik. You guys are abusing too much.
ও কিছুই করে না
Pick from your laundry.
অ্যাম্বিগুয়াস কলাম
pick
Pick
which
from your rough.
Okay, Sanju, come here. রিপন এর হাতে লাগা তো রিপন পা
রিপোর্ট আসতে পারছে মানে কি
somebody tell me this, bring the schema up. Give me the schema.
I have it here and এনে কিরো দিশা বানিয়ে
All right, tell me name which column you want from employees. So when I'm getting the columns, what's the first thing I gotta do? I gotta put. What the hell is the matter with this?
It's dry, it's cold.
I know, right? Select, and that's when I'm gonna select all the columns. Then I'm gonna say from where am I selecting it from, right? And that's what I'm gonna do. Where? Now, select what? Give me.
Select employee ID.
No. Okay, you are telling me employee ID. Okay, give me some selection. So, employee underscore ID,
Comma, first name,
comma first underscore name,
comma, salary,
salary.
comma.
Okay. So okay, give me another table. Department name. So department underscore name. Write it exactly, okay? Comma.
লেখোটা
No, you don't want. Okay, so you want one is like this. Let's say from here, job title, job underscore title, comma. From there,
স্টার্ট ডেট
city, city, and then you say country name, country underscore name, comma. No, we're doing it together. Or let's say start date, and you say let's say I have a start date here, underscore date. Now, looking at your schema, you can tell these three came in from employees table. What are you doing? So what are these three tables coming from? I mean, three columns coming from? Okay, what is this coming from? Departments. What is this coming from? Job title coming in from where?
জব হিস্টরি
Jobs.
জবস
Jobs.
I don't even have.
Where is this start date coming from?
জব
Job history. Job history. What is the city coming from?
লোকেশন নাকি
It's right in front of you, Sanju.
Locations. Country name coming from where?
কান্ট্রিজ
It's in front of you.
I know
No, I told him not to answer.
Sorry.
Okay? Now, we are not doing equal way. We are doing inner join way. So what am I replacing where with?
So nowhere is gonna be on, and from is inner.
অন হ্যাঁ
From is this. So now, first thing first, this one with the department. So we can say from
From employees.
employees,
Department.
inner join departments. This is the table. Now I want to alias this one E, and this one is D. So I put this one E dot,
E dot.
E dot,
Salary.
E dot. This is D dot. Make sense?
Yeah.
Inner join. Now my condition is on E dot department. What is the common? ID equal D dot department underscore ID. Correct? I have another table now. With this one, it comes in with the job history, doesn't it? So I can say no. Inner join job underscore history
Equal to what?
JH on D dot department ID equal to JH dot department ID. So I do another one, jobs table. I say inner join
Oh.
jobs where, or you don't have to do where, you say on E dot employee ID, na?
Yes.
E dot what? Job ID. Sorry.
Job ID.
E dot job underscore ID equal to J dot job underscore ID. Now I want to do the third one, which is the location, which is actually dealing with department. So I say inner join locations on D dot location ID equal to L dot location ID. Now,
all primary
wait,
From
প্রথমবার লেখছেন আর you don't have to do the inner.
আমি প্রশ্নটা করতে চাচ্ছিলাম
From a question.
Yes.
ও বারবার যতগুলাই টেবিল করবে শুধু ইনার জয়েন দিয়ে শুরু করবে।
Inner join.
শুধু অন লিখতে হবে প্রত্যেকবারই কিন্তু ফ্রম আর লিখতে হবে না।
অন লিখতে হবে হতে পারে
হ্যাঁ।
And
Inner join লিখলে on লিখতে হবে. Make sense this one?
at the end we have to put semicolon, right?
No, not an ED. When you're doing it in ED, notepad, you don't. If you don't do it in notepad, you're doing it in regular, then you can do it.
Just slash it in.
Can I wipe it off?
Yes.
Take a break. Take a break. Take a break, guys.
ছুটি ছুটি ছুটি
Bye bye.
Participate করতে হবে।
মানে কে কাটছে বিটু কে কাটছে
আরে
Take out the
মোমবাতি মোমবাতি
আরে লাইট পারছে আর কিছু না।
এখানে আপনি সুপার
লাইট করে করে রাখতে
No.
হবে। ওই যে পাশে লাইট আছে দুইটা। বক্স
Oh,
সেম ক্রস
Sanju.